Hello indie game fans, welcome back to I Dream of Indie. This is Ole Gamer Joe here with another review for you today. We're looking at Alwa's Legacy for the Nintendo Switch. This one will be releasing on the Switch as of September 29th, 2020. $17.99 is the price tag. It comes from developer and publisher Eldin Pixels. You'll be doing a lot of dungeon exploration, using magic, and a lot of platforming in this one. Alwa's Legacy tells the story of a young girl named Zoe who wakes up not having any clue as to what has happened to her previously, but an evil wizard is out to get her. She doesn't understand why, and it's up to you to try to piece together your memories and figure out just what the heck is going on. The world of Alwa is full of tons of different secrets, dungeons to explore, and enemies to take care of, but of course you'll also have to rely on your magical abilities to solve some pretty clever puzzles. Alwa's Legacy is fairly non-linear. You can explore it in whichever order you so wish up to a certain point, and you'll need certain abilities in order to access new areas. The more that you explore this game, the more that you eventually unlock throughout the, I would say, 10 to 12 hours that you'll be playing. The actual combat is pretty simple in this one. You'll swing your staff to take care of enemies, and you eventually do get more weapons as well. There's a blacksmith shop in villages across the different worlds. These will allow for you to do various upgrades to make yourself more powerful, and you can also upgrade your magic in this game, which you'll collect different spells, such as blocks that you can jump on to reach higher out-of-reach areas by going to the village magic shop, where you can trade in orbs that you've collected along the way in order to get new skills that make those spells even better. You do have a map in this game that helps you to figure out which direction you should be heading in, and maybe some of the areas that you haven't explored yet, and of course you'll collect keys that will unlock new treasures and doors as well. So a lot of exploration here, but I did like that you could go off in different directions and approach the game in a lot of different ways. The actual platforming feels really good in this one. You might have blocks falling out from underneath you, but the game is responsive enough where you can deal with those tough situations. So I did really enjoy the platforming elements of this game, and the combat, while simple, is still really fun. I also like the different ways that you use your spells in this title in order to solve the many puzzles. You do come across some fairly interesting characters along the way, and the writing is decent, I would say. It's not the best writing I've come across in a video game, but it does serve the purpose. It gets the job done, and I was ultimately interested in what was going to happen. In terms of graphics, Alwa's Legacy looks absolutely beautiful. There's some wonderful pixel art on display here. The spells all look great, the enemy design is fresh and fun, and I really enjoyed all of the different dungeons that I came across. I never got tired of watching my main character's animations, and it's also backed by an excellent chiptune soundtrack, which sounds just out of the era it tries to be from. It's really excellent here. These compositions are wonderful. I can't wait to listen to this soundtrack more and more long after I finish the game, because these are some really infectious tracks, very well done by the composer. I should also mention that you can eventually warp in this title as well to travel from location to location, which can speed up the process a little bit. But regardless of which dungeon or village or whatever area you find yourself in throughout Alwa, you're going to be greeted with generally an excellent piece of music. Alwa's Legacy is a very fun-to-play, charming, beautiful platforming adventure game that I highly recommend. I had a ton of fun with this one. The colorful presentation is really great here. I think the controls are very responsive, and the way that the puzzles are implemented with the dungeons and across this world are really fun to interact with and very clever for the most part. I like the use of magic spells in this game and the fact that you can upgrade them, and I think the soundtrack is one of my favorites so far this year. So on the whole, if you are a fan of this genre of games, definitely don't miss out on Alwa's Legacy. This one is a great fit and a welcome addition to the Nintendo Switch. So will you be checking out Alwa's Legacy? Let us know in the comments section below, and if you have enjoyed our video coverage today, consider hitting the subscribe button below. It helps us to bring a voice to the voiceless ones in gaming. There's a ton of other ways that you can support I Dream of Indie down in the description box below. However you end up helping us out, we thank you so much for doing so.